Men's Fashion Week right now, and I'm just hitting up the last day here. There are some really cool designs coming down the runway. There are also some really awesome products that I'm seeing out here in like the Mingle area. A lot of technology is really merging into the fashion world, which is totally interesting. And I'm like so excited to see how else that's going to start really translating into the runway looks that we see over the next few months and even the next few years. I think there's some awesome technology that's probably going to be implemented. So the other thing I wanted to mention is there's some really cool stuff I've been seeing in, there's an article I read about this cool suitcase that actually is totally for my lifestyle, because since I jumped from corporate to social media world and am doing this full time, my life is all over the place and I'm constantly everywhere, and I really need something to like some merge of like fashion, technology, function to come into my life and create solutions. And this one suitcase actually expands and has a full area in there to like become a mock desk. It also has a port in it that you can connect your laptop and work from the airport. And honestly, I use suitcases even for outside of travel, just because I'm doing a lot of like changes and like outfit changes and things like that when I do photo shoots or video shoots. So this suitcase is pretty awesome, and even just seeing that sort of again translate into the fashion world and seeing all the cool stuff that comes out here is so cool. There's 3D printed jewelry, there's self-portraits that are 3D, which are awesome, and I'm just so excited to see where this goes.
Turn around, I feel the breeze over me.
What's really interesting about this whole virtual reality and just the idea of like what reality is in general and what we're actually finding out is happening in the world. One of the articles that I recently looked at actually said that 59% of women are actually gamers, and it seems like the majority of gamers are women, and we keep thinking that it's these adolescent boys that are actually the market, but apparently that is totally changing, and it's so interesting when you talk to people that really hasn't translated. So it's just so great to see you know, articles coming out about that, where we're finding out real information, seeing how women are moving into that area, and just like really trying to understand you know, where things can change, how we can really influence the industry. And I think like games are really starting to move into that area, but they're just not quite there yet. It's still very male focused. You know, the whole equality issue with men and women. I know Jennifer Lawrence has talked a lot about this, but just it's kind of an ongoing thing. You know, whether in film or other industries, it seems like women are just not being quite paid as much for the same job as men. I do feel like this industry is, or sorry, this time that we live in has dealt with that a lot better, especially like being in a first world country. But certainly there is always room for improvement, and it's just one of those things where I think if we start looking at each other as human beings, one person managing something versus another, you can really start to kind of gain some equality overall. A lot of the times people will ask me, how did you get somewhere, or what did you do to get there? And I think what we always forget is that the you is really combined with multiple support from all angles, whether it's family, friends, men, women. And I think that's something that's a key takeaway for me that I always try to translate to people and tell them about sort of how to overcome anything, how to achieve your goals. It's always kind of a combined effort in some way. And what I'm noticing a lot, especially when it comes to women and men, equality, any subject that really has to do with that, it's really also about the men leading the way, not just about what the women do, but it's also what men do. And something that I took away this week was a story that I had heard about a man, I think in India, who had started a program to share with his community and other communities just the importance of understanding that menstrual cycle for many women is not a sin or a curse or worthy of any girl not going to school, which is kind of what he was finding out was happening. He was so shocked by this, and he had started that organization to help promote and really open up people, and especially open up men in those families to start talking about that and to be a lot more open and realize that it's really just as simple as breathing. It's nothing that should be viewed in any kind of negative way. So for me, I thought this was hugely important because it really targets the fact that it took a man to actually make this change and to spread the word about this. And it really is all about whether you are male or female or, you know, whoever you are. It's really about understanding that to get a message across, it has to be something that everybody translates and talks about.